Hey everybody, I believe we are live now. Please, as always, let us know that you can hear all of us, you can see all of us. I'm here with Theresa Cox and Kristine Buonanno.
Hello, girls.
What'd you say? It's noon here. It's 3 p.m. Kristine's time over on the East Coast. I don't know where the rest of you guys are, so somewhere in between and outside of that. I know we got a couple people on the other side of the world who may or may not be watching right now. But welcome to the show. We're doing a special live show, our first ever Boss Live. Maybe we'll do some more. It's not necessarily going to be like a weekly thing or anything as far as I know, but we just had some stuff that we wanted to talk to you guys about, particularly around eBay Open 2018, as well as the Shine Awards. So it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what Lorna says. I'm pretty sure that's how you live your life, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Somebody said pouring a glass of wine. I'm like, it's only noon. Come on.
No. Vicky says noon is okay for wine. So if she approves, then I think it's okay for everybody, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so what's been going on with you guys this week? Teresa, what's happening with you?
Nothing. I mean, nothing and everything. My week's not going as planned, but you know, that's okay. That's why we do what we do. And I helping a friend pack to move and, you know, trying to get my listings done. And here I am hanging out and in under the wire. I literally got to the office at 11:45 today.
There you go. You know what? Yeah. I have a philosophy. I call it moving karma. That anytime anyone ever asks me to help them with moving, I always say yes, because moving is the worst. And I always know that, like, at some point I'm going to have to move again. And I like to know that, like, I've helped other people and I don't have to feel so guilty about asking for help myself. So good job on putting something into your moving karma, Teresa.
Well, you know, I've moved 3 times in the last year and a half. So yeah, I owe a lot of people. I'll be moving forever. So anyway, I just helped pack some boxes yesterday.
Oh yeah, Abby, I'm wearing my Perillo shirt today. Check it out, guys. Again, I got my guacamole and my pico de gato.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I saw some god-awful socks while I was at Ross today, and I thought of you, and I almost started to buy them. I'm like, I can't contribute.
I think you can, but I appreciate the fact that when you see god-awful clothing, you think of me.
There you go.
I'm sure Vicky does as well. Are you going to show us what you were just working on listing right now?
Sure, I will. So I am working on listing. I'm trying to get it lit up, but we'll get you the link to it. So for those of you that a lot of people like my eBay chucks, well, check these bad boys out. These were worn by Bob Kupben at eBay Open 2017.
Now tell everybody who Bob is in case they don't know.
Oh, Bob Kupben is the VP of B2C sellers, so business to consumers. He's over like the seller part. I don't know. The eBay titles and their teams confuse me. So, but yeah, he's
up there in the eBay chain, and he'll be at eBay Open as he always is.
So I thought it was cool because these are the shoes that he was wearing when he was on stage when I was speaking with him on the main stage. And so there's a story that goes behind it because Spencer Appland, who was also one of the speakers on stage with us, Bob put these up for auction, and I sort of helped broker the deal. And so I guess, I forget what it was. Bob sold it, and then the person's like, because it was for charity. And then the person that won the shoes told Bob, here's the donation, list them again. And so Spencer Appland did a buy it now for $200 for them and got them. And then Bob auctioned off another pair of shoes that Spencer wanted more. And they were black, but Spencer didn't want to have 2 pairs of shoes. So I bid on them. I ended up winning the black shoes. And I was like, what am I going to do with a pair of size 12 men's Converse shoes? So I did a little swap-ola with Spencer. So Spencer got the shoes. And you know, I wish, because you know, me and my red, I mean, I think these are awesome. Check out the bottom. I mean, like, so cool. And so, so anyways, I decided I'm going to list them so that if somebody wants to wear these bad boys to open, they can buy them. So I'm gonna list them for $199.99 with free shipping. And so if somebody out there is a size 12 and wants to wear them to eBay Open, we'll put the link in the
I'll add the link. As soon as that listing goes live, go ahead.
So there you go. That's what I'm working on right now. So I'll get at least one listing done today.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. And Victoria says that she will never help a friend move, but she says she'll help you pack and she'll help you clean. To me, that's the same thing as moving. Like I get like whatever part of moving that you're helping with, even if it's packing, like that's kind of a big deal. So I don't know what she's talking about. She just doesn't want to move boxes. That's all. But I feel like that is included in the moving karma. All right. So Kristine, what's up with you? What's happening with you this week?
Hello, ladies. I had a very exciting week. I attended eBay in the Soho office. I was on a panel this week, so it was very, very exciting.
Now I have to say I didn't even know that there was a New York City eBay, like official eBay office. So that's pretty cool. So what exactly happened? You got invited there?
Yes, I got an invite by Kathy Terrell, and Hubcap Joe was also on the panel. We went down and we got to meet with some of the staff there. And then Sunil was the he led the discussion, and then it was streamed in like a couple of countries and across their offices. They had a karaoke based theme and they were all singing, and it was pretty much on the seller hub aspect and the some questions. So it was really cool to meet them all.
Very cool. Yeah, Lorna, you said something about there being an echo on my end. I think that was coming out of one of the ladies' speakers, but it doesn't seem like it's happening anymore. I could hear it too. So we should be good to go. But that was super awesome, Kristine. Let's see what. Anyway, so anything else going on with you guys that you want to talk about at all?
Well, I hired another virtual lister. I'm like, Theresa, now we're getting our first minion. We're getting a little girl from school, an 8th grader. Christina's daughter actually was interested in listing, and Christina's teaching her the process. So we're going to assign her like something hip, like maybe jeans or shorts or tops in the trendy side, so we can get their age, opinion. And it would be great if it works out well. I'd like to expand my minions like you, Theresa.
You know what? I love shopping with the minions, because when they'll bring me stuff over, scan this. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. This is a rank 1100. Go get every one of them. And like, there's nothing like shopping with a teenager just to see what their eye is drawn to. And so I
agree with that.
So that means that your team is now, including yourself, you're a 5-person team now, Kristine?
Well, I have, she will be I had 3 + 4, now 5, yes.
Awesome.
Awesome. I love it. I love working with the teenagers and the preteens.
Work in progress.
I have no minions. Maybe someday.
Well, from open till now, it was a lot of work just trying to figure out a format and get organized and get the programs, get the profile set up, and then trying to explain it to everyone. So what I'm hoping now is that Christina is so proficient in it that she can start to help train new people and hopefully just keep continuing to scale and source. I have to get listing though, because my house is starting to become a big pile of stuff everywhere.
Colleen Gallagher says hi. She's actually somebody who's going to be applying for the Shine Awards, which we will be talking about in a little bit.
Awesome.
So pretty awesome. Big Drift Thrift says we lost her at karaoke. Listen, I love doing karaoke, and so does Victoria. So big surprise. I like to do stuff in front of crowds of people.
Ooh.
I can say I have never, ever sung karaoke.
You should try it sometime. It's really fun.
And I can say I could probably go to my grave and not be sad that I never did it.
I told eBay a story that I was adopted, and I was adopted into a family. My grandmother played piano in Carnegie Hall. My mother and father sang in all the church, plays. They got me, and I am completely tone deaf. When I was a little girl, I would sit on the couch, and I would make an audience sit, and I would sing on a little teapot, and they would hook and trying to sing Holy Night, ay, 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 Silent Night. So I did not partake in that at eBay.
How funny.
That's pretty good. Okay, I wanted to also give a shout out to one of our boss members, Jerry Pendleton Jr. He's in our boss group along with his wife, and he was actually just a guest on the podcast. So You Want to Sell on eBay? If you haven't heard that podcast, it's a pretty cool podcast. They put out like, I think, a weekly show. They interview all kinds of eBay sellers. And he was just interviewed, and I actually put the link down in the description of this video because I think it's super awesome that one of our members was on the show. So check it out and see what Jerry's up to. I know Theresa, you've been on the show before, right?
Yeah, I love that show, and I love to listen to it. They are, oh gosh, Allie and Rob. I forget the guy's name. Allie is one of them. But yeah, they're so easy to talk to, and like people tell me all the time, like, oh, I was so nervous. I'm like, yeah, don't be nervous. They're just like, you're just like sitting in your living room chatting with them about whatever you're chatting about. And then they post it, and it's awesome. I love that podcast.
Yeah, for sure. I know Barbara Colson, I don't know if she's watching right now, but she's in our group as well. I know she was on like sometime, like I think like the last month or so. Yeah. I haven't been on yet. I had arranged like last year after the Shine Awards to be on, and then we were having like technical difficulties. So we had to stop the interview, and so it didn't air, but I need to get back with them and actually set that up. Ron and Allie, that's what Lorna says their names are, Ron and Allie. I think, Lorna, were you on the show too? I think she might have been. But anyway, you should totally check it out. Go back, listen to Jerry's, go and look through their archives. There's all kinds of great stories from all kinds of different sellers out there. It's a really cool program because they just highlight what different people are up to all over the country, probably the world. I'm sure they've had some people outside of the US. So that's pretty cool. But I wanted to give Jerry a shout out because that's awesome. Boss group. Woo, 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 woo. Boss up. All right, so we're going to talk about eBay Open. Actually, but first, Kristine made a good point. There are some changes coming up from what was that? Was that the spring update that's going into effect in a couple of days, or is that just no? That doesn't happen until June 1st, right? Or is it May 1st?
Guaranteed shipping is May 1st.
May 1st.
Okay, so which is Tuesday. So guaranteed shipping or guaranteed delivery. I think the only thing about it is that before it was like kind of an opt-in program that was only available to certain sellers. But now they're basically making it so every listing that's out there that has the criteria for guaranteed delivery will automatically be in the program. So that's what, same day, next day shipping. You have to have automatic payment required checked off. And what else is there? I think that's it, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, it's not, after May 1st, it's not really an opt-in thing. It's a whether you qualify or not. So your shipping metrics need to be 95%. Your on-time shipping needs to be 95% or higher. If it's not, your listings just won't show up when somebody clicks that 3-day guaranteed shipping option. And so there's really, I mean, people are kind of freaking out. There's really nothing to do. Just if you want your listings to show up when somebody clicks for that guaranteed shipping, guaranteed delivery, then just, meet your shipping. Do same day or 1-day shipping. And, if that doesn't work for your business plan, then it's no big deal. I mean, your listings will still be seen. But, if I'm leaving on Tuesday and I see somebody's in Florida, I want to then click on, I'm looking for something that I definitely need on Monday. It's Friday. I want to look for that 3-day guaranteed delivery. So it's not how many people are going to be doing that. I mean, who knows? But you want to make it an option available. But please don't freak out if you can't do 1 day and you can only do 3 days. It's not going to, hurt your sales anymore. It's just going to.
It doesn't change anything for you. So if you already have either same day or next day shipping or handling, then you're automatically, as long as you fall under the other criteria, you're automatically in it. I mean, if you can't fulfill those within a day anyway, then your handling should be extended, in which case you wouldn't be in the guaranteed delivery program anyway.
Right.
So it's pretty much going to be automatic. It doesn't have to be, Big Drift Thrift wants to know, does it have to be the same day shipping? It does not have to be same day. It has to be at least next day. Now, depending on where you are located, so in your case, I think Big Drift Thrift, I believe you're in Alaska. Based on where you're located, let's say somebody from New York, let's say Kristine was looking for something and she wanted it to be guaranteed delivery within, 2 days or 3 days or whatever. I'm assuming like some of your listings, even if you're shipping them the next day, they might not show up because maybe it's going to take a little longer for them to get to her, especially if they're only going like first class or something like that. So it's going to depend on like where you're located based on what the normal shipping days would be for those. But somebody that was closer to you, they might see your listings based on the guaranteed delivery part. If they're checking the box for guaranteed delivery and they're only looking at certain days. So that's basically how it works. One Witch Lady's excited that she made it to the live show all the way from Canada.
Welcome.
Welcome.
There you go.
All right, so
welcome.
What's that?
I said welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, so Lorna, hers didn't actually air because they had technical difficulties with hers as well, her show. So you want to sell on eBay because they do have issues with like sound and stuff like that. They like it to be like radio quality. Anyway, so eBay Open. Let's talk about the details, the actual details of eBay Open. So this is like the last few days. I think the May 1st is when the prices change, right, Theresa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do they call it? The early bird price of $275 is good through the 30th. There's only 30 days in April, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So including today, I think you have 4 days to get on that.
You need to register probably by midnight on Monday, and then the price is going to go up to $399. So if you're on the fence, make it happen, people.
Climb over that fence, people.
Definitely make it happen. So what we want to talk about today was, so we're kind of like here to put the pressure on you if you're even considering going to Open. I get some of you may not have any way that you can go. You can't afford it all, in which case stick around, because we are going to be talking about the Shine Awards, and that is another potential avenue for you to make it to eBay Open, especially if you're somebody that there is absolutely no way that you can afford even $275 and going away from home for a week. So we are going to talk about that in a little bit, but first we're going to talk about just in general kind of all of our stories and what eBay Open has done for us personally, for our businesses. So I think we're going to start with you, Theresa, because you went way before any of us, because they've had other stuff like eBay Live, but the version that is now eBay Open, this is only the 3rd year, right?
Well, eBay in eBay Open in that terms, yes. So, but eBay's had eBay Radio, which was in Vegas like every June for years. They've had eBay on location. They did stuff way before that. So this is just the latest rendition of the get-togethers. And yeah, the first one I attended was May of 2012 in Denver. And in June of 2012 is when I unexpectedly got a pink slip from my favorite job of all my career. And so then I'm like, cool, I'm going to, do this eBay thing full time. But I remember I still have that vision in my head walking into that huge ballroom in the hotel in Denver. And like, there were so many people. I was blown away. I mean, like, I've been selling up for 15 years and like never met anybody that did what I did. And so what was a huge life changer for me was at the dinner table, you have these, it's a networking, and we'll talk about networking because networking is huge. It's what you go to these things for. But it was at the dinner table. There was 10 people total, and there was a husband and wife team, and they were sitting across from us talking about how they did $30,000 a month selling Army surplus stuff. And I was just like I was just happy doing my $800 to $1,000 being a hobby seller. Like, that was my play money, and I was a happy camper for 15 years. And it blows my mind to this day that I never went there. Like, I never had that vision of going to 30,000. And that one comment at that dinner changed the whole way I thought about this in business. And then, of course, Facebook groups became popular, and then you're connected with everybody all over the world. And that's one of the best things about the Facebook groups is that, you're instantly connected. So yeah, so I did that one, and then I did the one in Philadelphia the following September, and then eBay went radio silent. It's like there weren't any more. A change of leadership or whatever. And then they came back in 2015 and did the eBay We Are 20 in San Jose, which was a fabulous party. I'm so glad. Like, that cost me $200 to go to that event. And I think my airline was, I think I used miles or whatever. But anyway, and then, yeah, the last 2 years at eBay Open in Vegas have been amazing. So yeah, I'm here to say I will never miss another one. I mean, it's just too important to go. You learn too much. You meet too many people. It has a huge impact on your business not to make it happen.
All right. Alexa says that she's all booked. She got a birthday trip from her mom. Way to go. I'm all about hitting up the parents and being like, hey, I kind of, my sister just came to visit last week, and I was like, hey, Dad, what do you think about for my birthday? You just send my sister over to visit me. So I'm all about jumping on that bandwagon. Butterfly Boutique says they're so glad that we encourage them to take a leap of faith, and their trip is booked.
Awesome.
Yeah, so very, very exciting. So Theresa, you said that it has helped your business. Can you give us maybe like a couple of examples of like how it has impacted your business to help you be a better seller that makes you say that about not wanting to miss it again?
Well, one of my favorite things to do, and I do it a lot locally, is I love to help, new sellers. And I had a meetup group before I moved to wherever I moved to, Williams, 3 hours north of Phoenix. And so I, they're constantly helping new people and new sellers, whatever. So I really like connecting with the other sellers. So has that helped me in my business? No, it's made me like what I do more. I'm not working in a silo anymore. I have all these other people to reach out to and ask questions about and learn from. But it changed like I said, it was the end of May that I went to that conference. I got my pink slip on June 11th, 2012. I wasn't traumatized or anything. I'm not bitter. I'm over it.
And everything happens for a reason. I really believe that.
Absolutely. 5 years later, it's like I'm so happy that it was tough. Don't get me wrong. It was a tough day, but yeah. So I'm not a part-time hobby seller. I'm not doing what was it, $800 to $1,000 a month. I just got the bigger picture, and I went into that summer and I just went 150% into increasing my sales. I think when I had about 400 or 500 listings in my store when I lost my job. And then, I used to have these numbers in my head, but by the end of the year, 6 months later, I think I had like 2,300 listings or 1,300. I don't remember. I worked my butt off to get those listings up. And so it just changed. It just made me realize that, hey, you can make a full-time living at this, and this is what I want to do. And it didn't happen overnight. I tried to do that, and then February came, and I was like, oh crap, I don't have any sales. I don't have any money. So I had to go get another real job. And, I did that 3 times before I said, I'm done doing this. I'm just going to jump and have faith that a net will appear.
Yeah. Well, and I think, there are a lot of really specific things that you could point to, like, tools that were given, like early access to things like eBay Concierge, or, just all kinds of different ways of running our businesses better. Being able to have better connections with people who work at eBay, because you're going to get to meet them and talk to them. But I think one of the most important things that you actually pointed to, Theresa, is that there's something about it that is so motivating and energizing. Like, it's like you see like in movies or on TV, like all these, like people go to like conferences or like these like motivational weekends or something like that. And it all just seems kind of hokey. And it's like, and even when I worked for nonprofits and I would go to like big conferences for Habitat for Humanity when I was executive director for one of the affiliates. And like, I loved the work I did there. And but for me, like what was inspiring was to actually be out working with families, out building on the job site, going to the conferences. Like, they'd have people up front in suits talking to us. And it was like, I knew they were expecting us to be like inspired by their speaking. It just never did it for me. Like, I would be so bored there, and I usually skip out on half of it. But eBay Open is like really different. It's like there's something about the energy there. There's something about, as Kristine says, I'm sure she'll say it in a little bit, the eBay magic. Like, you get so excited and so stoked about it. And if you've been kind of like frustrated or a little bit tired or just run down, like going to this event, it's crazy. You go back home and you want to work twice as hard. You want to do more. And you realize like, oh, there's so much more I could be doing, and I can expand. And so it has an effect on your business. It will have an effect on your bottom line. But anyway, with that said, sorry, go ahead.
Let me just give one tip, because you do this, and I have my list going all the time, but because you do have access to eBay employees, various teams, the people that are in charge of the seller hub, the stores or whatever, what I tell people to do is I have a, in Evernote, I use Evernote on my computer. I have a file open, and then when I have a question, even if I'm in a Facebook group and I'm reading a question and like people are asking, well, how does this, and I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, I'll go in there and I'll type that question in there about, shipping. Does, guaranteed shipping mean, guaranteed delivery, I got to get that right. Guaranteed delivery mean X, Y, or Z. And then what I'll do is I'll sort it by, these are my shipping questions, these are my listing questions, these are my billing questions. And then when I get there and I'm like, oh, here's the billing team, I pull out my phone and I'm like, oh, here are my 4 questions that I have for you. Because if you rely on your memory, then you're going to get home and you're going to, oh man, I forgot to ask that person about this thing. And I also say, if you have a suggestion, not just a gripe or a complaint, because when you're on the other end of that gripe or complaint, it's like, I get it. This, you know, if I'm working all day long and I'm trying to fix something and I know it's a problem and whatever, don't be the, you know, the 2300th person to tell me about this. Give me a suggestion. Give me an idea. Like, you know, and so I encourage people like, hey, it would be great if we could do this because this, you know, or whatever. So I encourage people, if you're that type of thinker, I am that type of thinker. I'm always wanting to make things better, faster, quicker, whatever, automate it. Then take those kind of notes and then utilize. That's a great way to utilize the time that you have in front of eBay employees. I have no idea how many eBay employees are going to be there this year, but last year I think they said there was about 700. So I mean, eBay goes all in on this event, so take advantage of that.
Yeah, they really do. And do you remember, like, at the last one when they were talking about the concierge program and talking about how they were trying to kind of reinvent the customer service program? And I don't remember her name, but she was the woman who was like over the top of that entire program. And
Yes,
she literally gave everybody her personal work email and said, I'm probably going to regret this, but here's my direct contact information. If you have any questions or any problems, get in touch with me. And that's the kind of stuff that happens at eBay Open.
Yeah. And it was, yeah. So you, I mean, if you're in the audience, you write her email down and then you're like, hey, if I have a question, then there's that person I can go to. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, Kristine.
Hello. Well,
tell us about what eBay Open means to you. Tell us your story.
You did my term. It's magical. I have felt like I've been on a magic carpet ride ever since. I went there scared and feeling alone. And as soon as I got there, I attacked Theresa. She tells the story. Hey, Theresa, you're the reason I'm here. But it was just an initial icebreaker. And I was so glad that they had that little meet and greet because it takes a lot of the anxiety away from you. And then we met people in the morning when you would have breakfast. You'd meet the same people at the classes. And I think that seller-to-seller interaction is huge because it allows you to network amongst other sellers. And you do get that aha moment that there's so many people out there that share the same passion with you. One of the things that was so encouraging to me is I think that people in the reselling community truly try and help each other and lift each other up. And that's what I love about this boss group, because the positive aspect to this reselling business, you feel alone, but with this support, if you're having a bad day, you can log on and get boosted up, or if you have something to celebrate, you know, there's people around you that are truly happy for you. So that ever since Open, I have exchanged so many mobile numbers with people, and we have group texts and group chats that go on. And friendships form. And the magic of the networking for me that came out of eBay Open is far surpasses anything I could have ever imagined. You know, Theresa came to my house, as you all know that whole story, was ready to dive in and help me in the ditches. I mean, who does that after 2 months of meeting someone and a friend?
Theresa does that.
Yeah, but you know what? I would gladly repay it. I watched your video with Lorna and I side messaged her and I invited her to my home here in New York. And I said, come out here, come out east. And I truly mean that, because that's the magic of eBay Open, encouraging each other, helping each other, and supporting each other. So if you're on the fence, please step out of your comfort zone. I know we'll all be there waiting for you guys to welcome you with big open arms. So I hope my story, you know, can encourage someone to take that leap.
Yeah, and I'm just going to put this out there that if you're, you know, you're in the boss group, you want to hit me up. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have my car. Katie lives there now. Vicky's there, obviously, but I'll extend the same thing that I told Kristine. I told her, if you get to Vegas, you can't figure out how to get from the airport to the hotel, hit me up and I will come by. I will pick you up in the airport. I mean, Vegas isn't that big. It's not like I have to go that far. I'll pick you up from the airport and I'll take you to your hotel. Once you get to the hotel, you're not alone. You're just with a bunch of family, people that love the same things you love, that have the same kind of goals that you have, and all that sort of stuff. So I'll put that.
Is some serious BOSSup kind of service, guys.
And if I'm lucky, I'll even find a little chauffeur hat to wear.
Okay, but will you? Yeah, and then will you have some sort of like boss up sign that says like boss up here or whatever?
Theresa, tell them about the story of me driving in the car with you.
Oh my gosh! So when I tell my friends this part of the story, we were at where were we? We were at some event at night. I think we were at Frankie's Tiki Room, and so we were hanging out outside, and she's like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go." She's like, I'm going to call my Uber." I'm like, "Are you calling your Uber?" I've got my car here. I'll take you back to the hotel. And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So she gets in the car, and when I tell this story to my friends when they're in the car with me, because Kristine was like sitting in the passenger. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in the car with Theresa Cox. Oh my God. And I mean, it's still just, my friends just roll their eyes like, seriously? But I mean, it was so funny. And it's like, I kind of got it, but not really, because that's not me. She's like, you don't understand. You're on the YouTube. I'm like, I don't have a YouTube channel, but I guess she's, she'd see me on on Jason's shows and some of the, Rake-Ins, and I don't know, I've done a couple of shows, but yeah, so she was just like freaking out, little girl fanning.
Well, Barb Knight says that she's pretty sure you can find a chauffeur hat on eBay, Theresa.
I know, I just thought of it, so I'm going to look for one. So if I have airport duty, I'll be wearing my chauffeur hat.
There you go.
But here's the point of eBay magic, right? So here I was, Theresa was larger than life to me because of all the things that I would see her on the programs and on the Facebook groups. And when I got there, it's very funny to be that first timer, because they don't know who you are, but you basically know who they are because you watch them. So you can identify them walking by, and you approach them and you say hello. And to have that now come almost 9 months later, and I'm sitting here on this show with Theresa. She's been in my home with you, Katie, the Shine Award winner. I mean, that's eBay magic right there.
It absolutely is. And, I hadn't met, Lorna was the only one I had met before I actually went to Open last year. And I only met her one time, but Lorna, Theresa, you were the first one that I saw at eBay Open that I knew. But I hadn't met you face-to-face yet. And then, of course, I hadn't met Victoria face-to-face either. And let me tell you, just from knowing them through Facebook groups, it's like, it really is just like you're seeing an old friend. So any of you that are going and maybe nervous about it, just make sure that you're being really active, like in the Boss Facebook group, and just getting to know the other people. At some point when we get closer to it, we'll probably have like some dedicated threads just for people who are going to eBay Open, so we can kind of talk about like what's going to happen, and so we can get more familiar with each other. But it really is so much fun. It really is.
And please make sure you come up to us and, introduce yourselves, because I would love to, expand my friendships within the eBay community, as well as Theresa and Katie. So please make sure you reach out to us.
Yeah, for sure. And, we don't have anything planned right now, but I'm sure we'll probably put together whatever it is, whether it's all sitting together at lunch or going out one of the nights. We haven't made any plans for it yet, but depending on how many people are coming specifically from the Boss group, I'm sure we can have some sort of planned meetup or time that we can all get together and actually chat. So we can actually meet each other.
For lunch in the venue area. I mean, it doesn't, it can just be as informal as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, Vicky says, come say hello, I'm easy to spot. It's true. Yeah. Sometimes we go out sourcing and she wears a hat and I'm always like, oh, why is she wearing that hat? Because I was looking for her all over the store and I can't see the pink hair. So but yeah, she is easy to find. It's true. And she may have ordered an amazing dress the other day that she plans to wear to Open. And I'm not going to say what it looks like or anything like that, but I love it. She loves it. It's going to be awesome.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. So as far as my experience, so now speaking of, we're here, we're putting the pressure on you to go to this event that costs $275. You got to fly there. You got to drive there. You got to probably get a hotel room. You got to be away from your work for a week. And you're probably like, there's no way I can afford this. Why are you pressuring me? And I get it. So what we're going to talk about next is the Shine Award. So Theresa mentioned, and Kristine, that I am a Shine winner. So if you don't know what that is, the Shine Awards, I think this is only the third year they've done the Shine Awards, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I applied for it last year. So the Shine Awards are basically a way for eBay to recognize sellers and to kind of put them in the spotlight and celebrate their accomplishments. And so last year I applied for the Shine Awards. And I was a finalist, went to, all the finalists get to go to Vegas for free for the open event. So you don't have to win to get there. You just have to be a finalist to get that far. And you get like this crazy VIP treatment. I got picked up by a chauffeur at the airport. I got a hotel room. I got to go to like special dinners. We got to go out to see some live shows. It's like the whole thing was like this huge VIP treatment. It was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. And it was just an amazing experience. And I got to go through the same experience that everybody else did, where it was just, got to meet so many awesome people, got to be like just completely energized. I had like a big group of people there that had voted for me through the whole voting process, which I'll explain in a little bit. And so it was like literally like anytime the Shine Awards were brought up, this crowd would start chanting, Katie, Katie. It was kind of ridiculous, I have to say, but it was super fun. It was super fun. But anyway, so if you really can't afford it, or just whatever, if you're anybody and you want to try applying for the Shine Awards, you totally should. They have 5 different categories. The one that I was in last year was Rising Star. And so they don't have that category anymore. That's the one category they took away, but it doesn't really matter because my story would have fit in other categories as well. So don't worry about that. But the Rising Star one, I think it was like, you didn't have to be a new seller, but you had to have had some sort of significant growth over the previous like 12 months. They wanted to see somebody who had, so like, even though they don't have that category anymore, it probably would have been perfect for you, Kristine, because clearly like in the last year, you've seen some huge changes in your store and your business. So anyway, I actually was going to go over really quick with you guys what the categories are, because it's my mission this year to get to basically flood them with applications and make it so they don't even know what to do with themselves. So I'm going to tell you, let me see if I can find it here real quick, what the different categories are. Okay, so there's 5 different categories. And I'm going to explain them to you so you know whether or not you are eligible for these categories. And the cool thing is that you get to pick more than one. You're only going to be a finalist for one of them, like they'll decide. But if you fit in, let's say, 2 of the 5 categories or 3, you can pick all 3 of them. And then when they go through your application, and if they decide to have you as a finalist, they will decide which category to put you in. So the first category is global business. And all that means is that you sell some of your inventory internationally. So I don't know, Kristine, Theresa, you guys both do that, right?
Correct. 25% of my sales go international.
Yeah, so if you want to be eligible for that, make sure you're selling internationally. And now that can be through the GSP, the Global Shipping Program, or you can do your own international shipping yourself. As long as you sell internationally, your stuff's available internationally, you fit in that category. So like my story, Kristine's story, anybody's story would fit in that category. The next one is click and mortar business owner. Now that one, I don't know if you know about, what was it called? Always Open? Is that the new program that they have?
Oh, the one that they're doing in
Akron?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, so it looks like eBay is clearly between that Always Open and Akron, where basically what they were doing is going out and working with business owners that have brick and mortar stores and helping them to also become sellers on eBay. So based on them adding this new category, it looks to me like eBay is really putting some resources and time into bringing in new sellers from people who have businesses, brick and mortar businesses. And so this is called click and mortar business owner. So it's basically any small business owner that sells both on eBay and from a physical retail location. So obviously, like a lot of you guys aren't going to be eligible for that one unless you happen to have a physical location. And then the next one is young entrepreneurs. So this is anyone that's between the age of 18 to 35. Who either owns or has a major role in the business operations of a small business selling on eBay. So I would clearly be out of the running that. I just turned 39. I'm pretty sure you ladies are a little bit past that. So, so this is specifically for the youngins out there.
Category was created for post-minion age of Theresa's employee.
Exactly.
I can't wait for Sydney to be 18 because I'm going to make her apply for that.
Yeah,
there you go. She's got to jump on it. Okay, so, and then the next one is woman or minority owned. So any of you that are women, you're automatically eligible to apply for this one. Or minority owned, which is a small business owner of a racial or ethnic minority group. They put down American Indian, Alaska Native, Asian American, Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. So that's that category. And the last one is a tweak on what they used to have. I think they just used to call it the charity category. And now they call it Everyday Hero. I actually really like how they've changed this. It's called Everyday Hero. And what Everyday Hero is it's a small business organization that drives a positive impact in their community or leverages the eBay for Charity program. If you don't know what the eBay for Charity program is, that's the thing where charities can sign up for it to make their charity available for sellers to choose to give a percentage to them. So I believe for this category, if you are involved with the eBay for Charity program, you could just be a seller who contributes like a portion of your revenue to help charities. I think also if you are a charity who also sells on eBay, you would be eligible for that, because in the past, a lot of the finalists and winners have been actual charities that sell on eBay to raise revenue. But it talks about small business organization that drives a positive impact in their community. So maybe your work on eBay allows you to do something within your actual community, whether you volunteer a significant amount of time, you contribute a lot to a local organization, and maybe your work on eBay allows you the freedom to be able to do that, the resources to be able to do that. So that's that category. So I don't know, does anybody have any questions about that? Theresa, what do you think about the categories this year?
I think they're great. I think that, last year after Open, I was like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make it work, blah, blah, blah. And then this year, I'm like, I don't know. Kristine's got a great idea. And I think that we talked about it. I think that her idea, she would be a good, actually, after you're reading those things, Kristine, you might fit into one of those categories this year, but she may decide to wait next year till she has more. Well, you speak, Kristine. I don't need to speak for you.
What are you waiting for? Don't wait for it. And you can always apply again next year if you don't get it this year. So
I think I am going to actually submit an application.
There you go.
I'm so empowered by the charity side of the business. And for me, one of the other things I took away from eBay Open was that I had a passion for thrifting. I had a passion to be an entrepreneur, but I also have that charitable community spirit. For 20 years, I've been, volunteering in all different aspects of fundraising and giving back to the community. So for me, I am so elated that I now have the opportunity to put everything that I'm so passionate about into one business and partner with eBay, which is a huge corporation who at that Open makes you feel like you are the most important thing in their business and you are such an important business partner to them. So that is what has created the eBay magic inside of me. And I'm still riding that wave. So I can't wait to get to 2018's Open and to see what that brings for the year. But with that being said, Theresa and I, we had a conversation. We were talking about numbers and, she was trying to really give me a clear picture of the growth that I've attained. And my answer to her was, well, I really don't have that high in numbers and all these things, right, Theresa? And I said, although I quadrupled the numbers and quadrupled the listings, and now I'm trying to expand the other aspects of this business. What I want everybody to know who's on the fence about going is you can be a really small-time seller. I consider myself a small-time seller who's in the process of, scaling up. And this little person was able to attain this kind of growth by just attending that Open. So I hope to everybody who keeps reaching out that magic is fueled inside of you the same way it was for me at eBay.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Vicky says that she's applying as well. She's going to be applying in the Everyday Hero one. But listen, I definitely encourage you to pick every category that you could potentially fall under, because like I said, you're telling your story. And so however you want to tell your story, they'll decide which category to put you in, because if they like your story, they're going to want you to be a finalist, and then they'll fit you in however it works. But yeah, everyone should be applying. There's no reason for you not to apply. And here's the thing. I know, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem evaluating myself, and I probably think a little too highly of myself sometimes. But I understand that a lot of people do struggle with trying to give themselves kudos, with trying to toot their own horn. And that's kind of the whole point of this process, is that you have to sell yourself to eBay. You have to sell yourself and tell them why you deserve to be a shine winner. And so you really have to, I think it's a great exercise for any of you, because as business owners, you should be able to explain why you're successful. You should be able to look at what you're doing and be able to explain why your story is interesting. And if that's hard for you, then I especially encourage you to apply, because you should be putting yourself through that. You don't want to, anytime you have any like self-doubt or, anxiety around it, or, you just don't, you're nervous about putting yourself out there. To me, that's like the biggest sign that you need to do it, that you need to like push yourself outside of your comfort zone and go after it, and celebrate yourself and do this application. Because seriously, even if you don't become a finalist, it's worth it just for that, in my opinion.
So Ken said that too bad there isn't a stay-home dad seller category. But you know what? That could be a hero. You could be the, whatever your situation is, that you're staying home and you're able to stay home with your kids and do whatever, and work this job and do whatever your family needs you to do, because you can still provide for them by selling on eBay. I mean, I haven't looked at the categories like Katie has, but that's a story. I mean, and that's a story that people are going to resonate with.
Well, and here's the thing, Ken. It's like if you sell internationally, because that's the thing about the global business category. That's like that's all there is to it. It's just that you sell internationally. And so how do you get to be a finalist for that category? You have a good story. And if your good story is that having your own business on eBay allows you to be a stay-at-home dad, allows you to take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of the house, that's a good story. And they're going to want to hear that. So
that's a story that people can relate to. And then
absolutely.
What's the category that you said is taking place of the rising star type thing? Because Kristine, from her, we did talk about her numbers yesterday, and she has quadrupled her sales and got her listings up 5 times. She said quadrupled, but it's actually 5 times. And all from what she took away from the various workshops at Open. And
Rising Star did not get replaced. It got removed, and then they have the click and mortar business owner one. But if you are somebody who falls within that category of like Rising Star, where you have seen like this huge growth, that's also, like I said, that's a good story. So for Kristine, global business, she could tell that story. For women owned, she could tell that story.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Women, that's
right.
true.
So it doesn't matter. It's a good story, and that's all that matters. And so if you're showing like, I was inspired, and look at, and when you apply through the eBay website. So they get your information, so they can see like what your sales have been like. They can see what your growth has been over time. So
yeah, so I think that's a good thing, and I think that's a good one for other people. Like, hey, if you go, it's like, yes, it's time out of if you go to eBay Open, and it's time out of your day and your business and money, but that is an investment that Kristine took away. And we were talking last night. She's like, by the time she got home from Open, and by the time she got the fundraising drive going and this and that, and I came and she was figuring this out, it was probably November, December before she really got started listing. So her sales quadrupled basically that's less than 6 months. We were saying 9 months, but 9 months, because that ramp up process is important. So Kristine, you need to apply this year.
Absolutely. Well, and let me show you here. I'm going to share my screen really quick, because basically I want to like help people to not be nervous about this, and hopefully like at least try applying. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen really quick here.
Here's the thing. There's no wrong. It's your story. It can't be wrong. So just put your heart into it and put in and go through the process.
Okay, so I have this here on the page for applying. So basically, here's how it works. Now through May 10th, so you don't have a whole lot of time, but now through May 10th, you're going to share your story with eBay. You're basically going to be telling them why you should be the 2018 Small Business of the Year. And then there's a voting process, which I'll get into more in a little bit. And then they choose the winners. So the first step is that you pick your applicable categories. So again, here's all the categories. You can click on more than one. So you could click on all of them if you fit in all of them. So don't worry about trying to figure out which one is the best category. And then you go into the process where you put in like all your information, blah, blah, blah. They have a place where you have to upload a photo. They don't judge you based on your photo. You can upload a video if you want. Again, they don't judge you based on your video. And then they want you to tell your story. And so they kind of give you suggestions of like questions that you could answer, like how and why did you start selling on eBay? What do you currently sell and why? What were you doing before? What does it mean to you, to your business and to you personally selling on eBay? And they actually give you, you can go and you can read one of the standout applications from last year. It wasn't mine, I'll tell you that right now, guys. So I'm a little sad about it. But anyway, they have like an example so you can kind of get an idea of like what stood out to them. Here it says, give us the feels. And so they want to know why you deserve to be the winner. And they want to know, they have all these, you know, potential, you don't have to answer all these questions, but they say, consider including details like blah, 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 blah. And so basically this is all you do. This is the entire application. And then you save it, you submit it, and then they'll get back to you. So that's the basic process. It's super simple. You want to take your time with it though. I'm going to take off the screen share now. You want to take your time with it. You want to be really thorough. I'm sure any one of us would be happy to look at your application before you submit it. If you want any feedback, I'd be happy to do that. So definitely get in touch with me. My contact information is down in the description below. I will help anybody that wants help and give you feedback because I am super, I mean, I love eBay, but I really love the Shine program. It's done a lot for me in my life. I mean, clearly like a lot of the process and going through that experience is what brought me to doing this YouTube channel. It's what brought me to being able to be closer with like Theresa. I wouldn't have even gone to Open last year. I had no plans to go to Open. Like my last ditch effort was applying for the Shine program. And I'm like, if I get this and I can go for free, I'll go. And I'm telling you, it's had a huge impact on my life. So I'd super encourage you to go.
Called eBay.
Magic.
Heck.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a few pointers as far as writing your thing. Now, I know this from having a background in nonprofit work and fundraising, writing grants and stuff like that. I have, you know, some kind of pointers I can give you. So anytime you're applying for any kind of, whether it's a job or an award or anything, you really want to look at what they're asking and pay attention to like the details they give you, because a lot of times there's clues in there about how you need to frame your story in order to grab their attention, right? So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to tell you, let's see how it actually works. Okay, so the first phase is you guys putting your applications in, right? So that's the first thing that you have to do. Now, phase 2 is a judging period. So they actually have a team of judges. I don't know who the judges are. I'm assuming some of them are employees, some of them, who knows who they are. So they have these judges and they're looking at all these applications that come in, and they have a certain set of criteria. And this is what's really, really important for you guys to pay attention to. Okay, so they have, I think they have 5 sets of criteria that each count for 20% of what they decide. So the first one is originality. They want to see originality in your story. So that's where you really want to dig deep and you want to figure out like, what is it about your story that's interesting, that makes you stand out, that might grab somebody's attention. That's 20% of what they're looking at. Next is your clarity of expression. That's 20%. Now, again, that's where you might want to get some people to look at your application before you send it in, because you want it to be very clear what it is you're trying to say. You want them to get it the first time they read through it, clarity of expression. The third one, now, this is where it gets interesting, guys. You got to pay attention. The third one is passion for using eBay. Clue number 1. That's 20%. Passion for using eBay. Number 4, here's clue number 2, embodiment of eBay's core seller values. So that's another clue. Now, here's your last clue. The degree to which eBay has contributed to the business's success. That's 20%. What, do you see any themes here, Theresa?
No.
Those last 3. Those are 20%. That adds up to 60%, guys. Those last 3, they're all about eBay. They don't want to just hear your story and your success as an online seller. They want to know exactly how that ties into eBay. They want to know your passion for using eBay. Basically, they want to hear you give eBay some love. They want the embodiment of eBay's core seller values and the degree to which eBay has contributed to the business's success. So when you're telling your story, you need to focus on exactly what it is about eBay that makes your story special. So that's super, super important because they want to see that, because this is all about celebrating you guys as sellers, but it's also about celebrating eBay. It's all together. So you want to pay attention to that. Now, the next phase is that they pick finalists. There's 15 finalists, 3 for each category. So there's 15 people that are going to be able to go to eBay Open. So if you make it to the finalist phase, based on your application, you get to go to eBay Open for free. So that's like the first big hurdle, right, Theresa?
Yep.
And that's like the best part, right? You get to go to eBay. You get to go celebrate. To me, I was like, I already won. I'm already in. Like I get to go to Open. It's going to be awesome. You get to have this great experience. Whether you actually win the award or not, you get to go. The next phase.
You get a car service from the airport to the hotel. Come on.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next thing, it is a popularity contest, the next part of it. So that might make you be kind of like, oh, I don't know. But basically what happens is there's 5 different categories, and there's a voting process where every single day people can vote for you. Now you get a vote for once for each category. So I can go in and I can vote, I want this person for this category, this person for this category, go all the way through the 5 categories. And I can go every day and vote again. So so the winners are decided based on who gets the most votes. But again, you get to go to eBay Open no matter what, as long as you're a finalist. So that's cool. Plus, if you're a part of a community, now I know we only have like about 1,300 people right now in Boss, but I'm telling you, if we get some finalists in our group, we're going to be talking about it every single day, and we're going to be getting those votes coming in. So we're going to work on it. Now, the 5 winners, there's 5 winners that come from the 5 categories, one from each category. Those 5 winners win $5,000. They win a year's subscription to an Anchor store. I'm telling you, I've got more listings than I know what to do with, guys. And I don't have to pay for them. You win like $250 in shipping supplies. You win like a whole store makeover. They like design a new logo for you. It's like super awesome. And then there's a few other things, but you get all of that, right? So great prizes. Now, there is a big prize. There is a top prize. And this one is not a popularity contest. So yes, you have to go through the voting process if you want to win for the categories. But out of those 15 finalists, they don't look at who's getting the most votes. We go back to the judging phase. And again, same criteria. They're going to look at originality, clarity of expression, passion for eBay, embodiment of eBay's core seller values, degree to which eBay has contributed to the business's success. And they are going to vote on a #1 winner for the year. And that winner gets $10,000. So that's like the big prize. So don't worry about the popularity contest part of it. Just focus on telling a really good story and talking about why you should be a Shine winner, because that's going to get you the chance to go to eBay Open, and then the possibility that you could win $10,000. And maybe we can get enough votes for you, and we'll get you there to be the winner, and we'll be chanting your name instead of my name like it was last year. So there you go.
Awesome.
All right. So do you guys have any comments on that at all?
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
and you won't be alone, because look at you have 3 of us waiting there with open arms. So
now I do want to give a personal apology to one witch lady and some of our other friends. This contest is only for US sellers. So that's like that is a huge bummer. So I'm hoping, I feel like at some point they should have some sort of thing that's a similar thing that's for people outside of the US, because it's kind of a bummer that you guys don't get to participate in it. I'm sure that you get to participate in the voting process, but you can't be eligible for it itself. Now, again, I mentioned Colleen Gallagher. She's super excited because she is going to be, she's applying, and I've been encouraging her, and I'm going to help her out with that. But again, I will help anybody. If any of you have questions or want feedback on your application before you submit it, I will definitely help. Like I said, I want them to be like drowned in applications. I want it to be like the hardest work they've ever done, because they have to go through so much stuff.
They had quite a few last year. Didn't they have like 1,500 or something? I don't remember that number. Maybe
I believe it was like 2,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's 1,500 sounds. Maybe that was the first year, but
I think it was 2,500 people altogether. They put it down to 15 people. But yeah, I think everybody should start entering.
I agree. I mean, you got nothing to lose, but an hour of your time. While you're laying in bed trying to go to sleep, think about your story. Think about how you can craft it. Think about how the 3 ways that eBay's had an impact in your business and your life, and why you're passionate about it. Because we're all passionate about it. Why else would you be sitting in front of a YouTube video at noon on a Friday if we weren't passionate about eBay and selling? And why would we be sitting here trying to convince you to go to eBay Open if we weren't passionate about it? So yeah, eBay Open will change your life. I'm here to tell you it has changed Kristine's life. It changed my life 5 years ago. It changed Katie's life. And so it can change your life too. Like we're nothing special. We got the eBay magic, and we're just trying to be here to encourage you to go, and so that you can feel some of that magic and some of that eBay love, and go home and quadruple your sales.
Yep. We're here to spread the eBay gospel. Yeah. Not terrible. It's like so terrible.
Kudos
I'm trying to make it work. Maybe if I say it enough times, it's going to sound good, right?
So yeah, the Bossful. So yeah, we were chatting about, you know, hashtag BOSSPEL Bossful, and Katie wins for being able to put it into the YouTube video.
And then I was saying that makes all of you the bossels, right?
Yeah.
The other great thing about the Open that I took out, from with that eBay concierge program, as much as they cultivated the seller to seller connection, that business to seller was huge, because when we call and they pick up the phone right away and there's someone there, it makes it so real that they are our partners. So that was a big thing that I love from Open. I'm still writing that success, partnership right there.
Well, it's only going to get bigger for you, Kristine, because, you know, as you get, I mean, as you refine your processes and you get more people on board, yeah, you're just going to get bigger. Mary says, shut up and apply. Hashtag shut up and apply.
And Ken says the disciples.
The disciples.
I don't know. We could be getting into sacrilegious territory here.
There you go.
Carry.
What was that?
The eBay Bible. Best practice.
Hey, look it. I'm a believer. How is that for?
Oh, how funny is that? Look at that.
We didn't even plan on that. Look at, got Griff's signature on it. There you go.
Now
Very
that
nice.
is funny.
Very nice.
There's eBay magic.
Ta-da. Yeah, that's so funny. The eBay Bible. It already exists, people. Go to your thrift store, find that eBay Bible. It may be 23 years old, but it's still the eBay Bible.
Absolutely.
You should list it, Theresa.
How funny.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for being here today. We're about an hour in, so I don't want to take up too much of any more of your time. But seriously, sign up for eBay Open. I put the link to register is down below in the description here. So go ahead and do that before, let's see, Monday night will be like your last chance to do it, because on the 1st, which is Tuesday, it's going to be kicking up to $400 basically for that. And please, please, please apply for the Shine Awards. I also have that link down below. And if you are not a member of our Boss Facebook group, I don't know what's wrong with you. Come on, we're awesome people. If you're here watching us, then clearly you're interested. So go ahead and join the Boss Facebook group. We're all about being positive. We're all about supporting each other, building each other up. It's super important. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, just click on the little subscribe button right there. Make sure you click on the little bell icon next to it so you are always getting notifications when I put new content up. And thank you guys so much again for coming here. Kristine, Theresa, thank you guys. Oh, Theresa, you showed off your shoe.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. And if you're looking for some awesome kicks for eBay Open, the ones that Bob Kupben's wore, I bet you if you found him, he would take a picture with you if you had these shoes on. Come on, they're listed on eBay. They're live now, $199.99.
I will add that link down below as well. And if you're interested in getting those shoes and harvesting Bob's DNA from the sweat molecules that were left in there because he didn't wear them, you could clone Bob Kupben's. It'd be pretty awesome, because I think the world could use a couple more of them, right?
There you go.
Anyway, all right. Thanks, guys, again. And go get back to work and boss up.
Boss up, everybody.